Hi everyone, how are you doing? I'm not doing so well, to be honest, but it's been over a year since I did a life update video, and I figure that now is as good a time as ever. Actually, I wanted to do it sooner after the election, but I just could not compose myself at all enough to do it. And it's been 2 weeks since the election now, and I feel like I'm still a hot mess. This video is going to be a hot mess. Sorry. And this is a really casual video, so you're going to hear traffic noise. It's going to be all over the place. Bear with me. Before I start talking about the election at all, I just want to say that if you voted for Trump, if you're an American citizen who chose not to vote at all, if you are an American citizen who in any way contributed to the current situation that America is in, I have nothing to say to you. And specifically, if you're a Trump supporter, please don't even talk to me. I am 100% serious. If you voted for Trump or whatever, just don't talk to me, because it has been the biggest challenge over the past 2 weeks to rein in my emotions and not go off on people. Don't push me. It hurts, it really does, knowing that nearly just as many people who voted for Hillary voted for Trump, a man who endangers my life, who endangers the lives of my family, who endangers the lives and rights of many people, a man who literally during the course of his campaign said that he could stand in the middle of New York City, shoot somebody dead, and still be elected president. And apparently he was fucking right, because apparently he can say or do anything and still get elected president of the United States. And it is just so fucking unbelievable. I can't. I've had people, friends, they call themselves my friends, but no, if you voted for Trump, you're not my friend and you're not an ally to me. I've had friends say, casually drop that they voted for Trump, complain about the drama of the protest. I've had people try to play devil's advocate with me and suggest that maybe Trump isn't so bad. And all of it is just like, no. Do not try to justify Trump being president-elect. Don't try to say that I should give him a chance. Just don't. Stop. No. And I have so many feelings. There's so many reasons why I am so fucking depressed and anxious and sad and a million different things right now. Aside from the fact that I'm always fucking depressed and anxious, but you know. I have so many feelings. Whatever ends up being put up in this video, just know that it is just a little itty bitty fraction of what I've been feeling. It is no exaggeration to say that the past 2 weeks, especially the first week after the election, have been one of the most difficult weeks of my life. And I am not okay, but I am trying my best to manage, and that's pretty much all I can do right now. And besides, it's nothing new that I have to put on a smile and go about my day as if I'm okay when I'm actually not. That's nothing new. I was not okay even before the election, but I was at least on my way to being okay, or at least I like to think that I was. I was even in the process of making a self-care video that I started shooting a week before the election, and I'm still need to work on because it's a complex video. But anyways, I was in a place where I finally felt like I could work on a self-care video, and now I am in such a dark place. I hope you didn't come to this video hoping for an uplifting message or something, because I don't have anything for you. I'm sorry. Anyways, making my mental health even worse than it already was, and making me have to fear for the lives of my family and friends even more than I already did every single day. This election has also completely obliterated what vague ideas or plans that I'd had for a future. And that has been really hard. After being kicked out of Australia more than 3 years ago, and that is a story for another time, I came to Japan because I didn't know what the fuck to do, but I knew I could find work here. And I figured I could use the time doing work here to try and figure out what the fuck I want to do with my life and, save so that I could do it. That has been a total failure, pretty much. I haven't saved jack shit. But the last 3 years I have spent trying to work out what I wanted to do, and I was finally in a place where I had some vague thoughts of maybe going back to America permanently or temporarily, I hadn't decided yet, to pursue maybe grad school, and medical stuff like surgeries. And now that, you know, Trump is going to be president, Obamacare is going to be fucking whatever, and everything else that's going on in America right now, any thoughts of going back to America temporarily or otherwise within the next 4 years are completely shot. And since I feel like the medical stuff, the name change, the stuff that I want to get done related to my gender is a very high priority on the list of things that I want to do in general. Like, I need to get those things done before I could be completely free to pursue other things. And now the means that I thought I might have to achieving those things is gone. It's just like, what the fuck? I mean, I was already poor anyway, but at least, you know, temporarily living in America, I didn't think my life would be in even more danger than it already would have been. And just to be clear, it is not just the danger thing that is keeping me from going back to America, but that is the main thing, because America is shit. Japan is shit. Japan is not better than America. It is not. I have so many problems that I deal with because I'm in Japan. But at least in Japan, I don't have to fear for my life like I would in America. And that is pretty important fucking shit. So I think that in itself is reason enough to stay in Japan, even though Japan is shit. When I told my mom and my dad, but my mom, that I would not be living in America for at least the next 4 years, if ever, I was ranting also about how shitty life in America would be for someone like her or for someone like me. And I was just ranting, venting. And she surprised me because she just sat there, like, silently crying, trying not to show that she was crying, but she was crying. And I was in the midst of a rant, and I was just ranting nonstop. I noticed she was doing this, but I didn't stop and comment on it at all. But that conversation really left me feeling some kind of way. I don't know, because this is my mom who I have rarely, if ever, seen cry, and this is my mom who is rarely, if ever, speechless, but here she was being both those things when I told her that I would not be coming back to America for at least another 4 years, and how shitty America is right now. And I just don't know how to feel about her reaction to that, because this is my mom who has gone through various stages of trying to convince me to come back to America over the past 9 years that I've been living abroad. And I don't know if she was crying because she just wants me to come back home that badly, or if she actually realizes how hurtful the current situation is to me personally, or what. I don't know why she was crying, and it was just really, really awkward. But I think the fact that now, even after the big earthquake that happened yesterday, she has backed off trying to get me to come back to America. It feels like it took this 9 years, after 9 years, it took this for her to finally realize that no, being in America right now is not the place that I want to be, even if Japan is shit. And even if Japan is dangerous, blah, blah, blah. Yes, I've gotten so many lectures after yesterday's earthquake. Yeah, America's more dangerous. But anyway, back on topic, I had already intended to go back to Vegas temporarily in November 2017 to legally change my name in between jobs, because my current job contract ends in November 2017, and I have to be physically present in Las Vegas to change my name, and there's no way that I could get enough time off from work to do that, so I need to do it in between jobs. Plus, I want to go into my new job with my actual name on everything. I don't want them to ever know my given name. So that was the plan, that had been the plan, but now I am so incredibly anxious about leaving my name change for that long. And at the same time, there's literally nothing I can do about that, because I cannot change my name from abroad. I cannot get it done before Trump does whatever the fuck he's gonna do within the next year, and that is just making me all kinds of anxious, really, really anxious. And it's not just that, because, you know, I've talked about in previous videos how I might want to pursue HRT hormones, low-dose hormones, and I've come to a point where I'm pretty certain that that's something that I want to do. But it looks like I'm going to have to pursue that in Japan now, and that is something I have said multiple times that I really do not want to do, because pursuing hormones in Japan is not the ideal for various reasons, but it looks like I have no choice now. So, yeah, I also am thinking I'm going to start hormones within the next year, probably maybe as soon as May or June or something. Try and get a head start on that before I go into a new job in November or December. So, yeah, I've already investigated some clinics in Tokyo, found one that might be doable, and yeah, I'm just so anxious and conflicted about everything. I never wanted to pursue hormones in Japan. It is something that I wanted to avoid, if at all possible, but now it seems completely unavoidable. And I'm not happy about that. I'm not. Not only am I not happy about that, it feels like a lot of control that I might have had over how I do things, the things that I can do, has been not completely taken away from me, but has been made a lot less easily accessible. And so it feels like my name change and these hormones are the only things within my reach that I can do about my gender right now. And that's really, really depressing and making me really anxious, and yeah. It's not good. Anyway, for those of you who don't know, I live in a little country town in practically middle of nowhere, Japan, and there is no active or existent LGBTQIA community, really. And so I've been going to Tokyo and other nearby places to participate in LGBTQIA events and stuff, especially within the past couple of months. I've been doing that really frequently, and it's gotten to the point where I'm now thinking that maybe when I change jobs, my next job will be in Tokyo or nearby, and I'll move to Tokyo, which has me really torn, actually, because I don't like Tokyo. But that seems to be where a lot of my friends are, where all the opportunities are, and not just job-wise or meeting people-wise, but also like YouTube-wise, because YouTube Space is in Tokyo, and for those of you who don't know YouTube Space, YouTube has created multiple facilities, they call them YouTube Spaces, in major cities around the world, and those YouTube Spaces have, like I said, facilities, resources, workshops, classes, etc. for YouTubers who meet a certain level of subs or whatever, and I went to YouTube Space Tokyo for the first time about 2 months ago, and I'm actually going again in a few days for a Creators Day event. But anyways, I feel like if I were in Tokyo, I'd have a lot of opportunities to pursue things that I want to pursue, and I could also go to YouTube Space Tokyo a lot more, and that would help me improve this channel too, so yeah, this time next year I might be moving to Tokyo or something. I don't know. I don't like Tokyo. Osaka's better. So, changing topics, I was actually outed to my dad about 3 months ago in August. And I would have made a video about it, but it honestly was so anticlimactic that it felt a little unnecessary to make a whole video about it. Anyway, what happened was Dad decided, I guess randomly, that he wanted to try giving Twitter another shot. So he made a new account and followed me on that account. And he had already followed me years and years ago from an old account But that was before I was out on Twitter at all, and so I felt like it was okay to be out on Twitter now, which I am 100%, because I knew that even though he had some account following me, he wasn't using that account. Well, he has a new account and it's following me, and I was at work when I got the notification that he followed me on Twitter. And if you don't know, my Twitter account has right there written clearly on it my orientation, my gender, stuff like that. It has a link to this YouTube channel. So the second I saw that notification that he followed me, I panicked. I was at work, I couldn't do anything about it, but I panicked. And yeah, after I got that notification, I received no contact from him. He did not send me a message or anything to indicate that he felt any kind of way about having seen my profile. And that lasted for, I think, 3-4 days. There was no contact whatsoever, and my anxiety was just through the fucking roof. And finally, I ended up emailing him. I couldn't call him because we rarely talk on the phone, and that would have just been too awkward. So I emailed him. When I emailed him, I really did not know how to initiate that conversation. I mean, like I think I've said, we do not really talk much at all. So I had no idea if the silence from him was just the normal silence because we don't talk anyway, or if the silence was that he was angry or feeling some kind of way about what he'd seen. So I ended up just emailing him casually, like, hey, I saw you added me on Twitter. Are you trying to stalk me now? I was trying to make a joke out of it. And to my surprise, he replied, and quote, I'm not stalking you, sweetheart. Don't ever call me that. And you're old enough to feel how you want. I will always be here to support you no matter what. That response completely caught me off guard and floored me because I never expected any kind of reaction from him, really, but if I were to expect something, it wouldn't have been that. But anyways, I responded thanking him, but I also stressed that, it's not about how I feel, it is just who I am. And he responded saying, yeah, I know that's what I meant. And he straight up compared himself to my mom, saying that I'm not like her, And I don't know if he was saying that because he'd actually come to my channel and seen the videos of how mom responded when she found out about my sexuality and gender. I don't know if that's why he said that, but it was incredibly funny to see him comparing himself to my mom in terms of responding to finding out. And yeah. And if you're new to this channel and you don't know how my mom responded to me being outed, just know that it was fucking dramatic as fuck and it could be made into a movie or something, I don't know. But it was ridiculous, and I never expected my dad to take it to that level of ridiculousness because he's always been really different from my mom. But it was just, I did not expect him to be so accepting, and that just blew my mind, and it was amazing and awesome. Having said that, I want to point out that I still have not actually sat down with him and had any proper conversation about anything, even 3 months later. I don't know what exactly he knows or understands. I don't know if he's been to this YouTube channel, if he's watched anything on this channel. I don't know if he even understood the words that he saw in my Twitter profile. Does he even know what non-binary is? Does he know what asexual is or whatever? I don't know. I haven't actually talked to him about any of these things. And I don't know how to broach the subject. Like I said, we don't generally talk even casually. So to have such a serious conversation with him is a foreign concept to me. I can't picture how it's gonna go down. Anyway, I'm out to both of my parents now to some degree or another, and I'm out to my younger sister, and this is just amazing. I never, ever, ever thought that I would ever get to this point. And yeah, being out to them does not make things instantly better. We are still working through a lot of things. They are still struggling with so much. It is still a work in progress, 100%. But the fact that they at least know on some level or another means a lot. And if I have accomplished anything in the past 3 years, I guess is that. Yay. For those of you who don't know, Ashley Mardell, fellow YouTuber and just generally amazing person, recently released a book, The ABCs of LGBT+, and I highly recommend it. I'm not recommending it because she asked me to mention it in a video. I'm not recommending it because I helped work on it, edit it, with her and lots of other amazing people. No, I'm recommending it because the content of this book is really fucking awesome. And I think that it would help and be beneficial to anyone who watches my videos and just people in general. There is so much content in this book that you will not find in any other book. There's lots of inclusion of ace identities, lots of information about aromantic identities, about LGBTQ, everything really, including non-binary identities that you have not seen mentioned anywhere else. For example, Maverick. Where is Maverick? Maverick, yeah. Demigirl, agender, lots of different things. There's lots of stuff about, pronouns and gender fluidity and just everything. I highly recommend this book if you need a resource, maybe even just to help other people understand, even if you feel like you already have a good grasp on things. So yeah, check it out on Amazon. I'll put a link in the video description, and yeah. Anyways, I'm gonna end this video here because it's already gotten too long, and I appreciate you watching it all the way to the end if you're watching this, you have. I don't think many people get to the end of my videos because I talk too damn much, but you have. Thank you so much. It means a lot. And yeah, just hang in there. That's what I'm doing. Life ain't great right now. I hope your life is better. But yeah, again, thank you for watching, and hopefully I'll get up the energy to make another video soon. And the sun will have better timing next time and not be shining in my face right now. Anyways, take care. I'll see you next time. Bye.